Welcome to the NerdLore podcast. We talk stories, theories, and lore. I'm one of your three hosts, Shiny Shoes.
And I'm Crashstarling.
And I'm Skandle.
And today we are going to talk about work stories, whether they be good, bad, or really bad.
No, they're all awful.
Yeah,
Everything.
None. Is there really a good work story when you think about it? No, probably not.
Dude, there's tons of like great work environments. I just haven't ever experienced them.
Wow.
Yeah,
good to know.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm sure there are a bunch of great places to work, and when you guys find one of those, let me know because I am so interested. Well, I guess I could talk about my experience first, and it's by far one of my favorite stories that I tell people. In 2011, I was working at Walmart as a lawn and garden associate. So just worked out there, you know. It was a good time. I would throw mulch in cars and water plants. Yeah, just a normal day for me.
Oh, packages. For some reason, I was like envisioning you just shoveling mulch into random people's cars.
Well, that too, and bricks. So we get a new individual in, and this guy's. Back in this time, I was actually pretty small, but this guy's a little bit on the chunkier side, and kind of. I don't want to say like stout, but just he seemed very unathletic. Is that a way to explain someone? They seemed unathletic.
People who are not the typical athletic shape are unable to participate in athletics.
I'm assuming that people that like
I'm reaching for that one.
Yeah, that people that like can't walk in a straight line have trouble with like extreme athletic moves. So
I can't walk in a straight line. I can't do anything straight. Shiny.
My daughter's nickname is Grace because she falls everything upstairs, downstairs.
So,
doesn't matter.
You fall upstairs.
Jill fell upstairs the other night. It was funny. Now. He comes in, and the first thing they tell us to do is say, hey, I need you guys to go out there and level off the mulch bags, which this is a pretty tedious and stupid process, but that's most of what you do in, corporate worlds. So we went out there and started. We gave him, like, a very small portion, because we didn't know what this dude could do. My other buddy did an entire, there's probably 50 feet of bricks just straight down. And I did heavy, like garden soil. And if you've ever lifted a garden soil bag, it is so heavy. So we did that all the way down. Well, he's on the backside and we kind of walk around to see where he is. And the dude is like laying on a pallet and he's out of breath and he's kind of breathing. We walk up and my buddy's talking. He's like, hey, man, there's no time to be taking a nap. What are you doing? Get up. And he's like, I'm just not built like you guys are. I can't do this forever. And he'd only done like 2 pallets, but there were a bunch more. So we just said, hey, man, it's okay. Go work the register and we'll just cover this out here. So we sent him in to go work the register. Well, he gets kicked off of the register because another lady comes back that's going to work it. And he goes inside and he's stocking. And I walk in, I see him and I go get my buddy. I'm like, you're not going to believe this. So we go in, and as he's stocking, he's wearing, like, those giant rubber knee pads. Like, they are massive. Massive. Like, I had never seen someone wear those before. So, of course, we're interested in what's going on. We walk over and say, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm stocking. I'm like, where'd you get those giant knee pads you're wearing there? Yeah. And he said, oh, they told me about them in orientation. They're to keep my knees good forever. And I already had assumptions that his knees weren't good to begin with. But if they were going to stay powerful forever, it would definitely be with those, 6-inch foam boards that he had taped to his knees now. So the boss comes by, and he sees it, and he comes up to those. He's like, what the hell's he wearing? Well, we have giant knee pads that we can wear, evidently. I never knew, but I need to get me a pair now. So the boss gets him. He's like, hey, man, we're just going to put you on the register. That's what you're going to do. So nothing comes of it. I walk away. I come back from lunch. As I come back from lunch, there is a line from his register. It's probably 12 people deep. And he's nowhere to be found. So I walk over to the register freaking out because I'm like, oh man, all these customers are about to yell at me so much. So I walk out, and one of the guys has got his phone out, and the other one's laughing. So I walk by, I'm like, hey, did you see the guy that was out here on the register? And the guy that's laughing, he points out to where the flowers are. And this dude that was supposed to be working had somehow produced an ocarina, which is the instrument from Zelda, if you don't know. It's like a little flute. And he was out in the flowers playing this instead of working. To which I looked over and I just said, what the hell are you doing? And he's out there and he's just like, I don't know if he was singing like the Song of Storms or something, and he was trying to like bring down rain to water the plant so he didn't have to. But all of these customers were watching him do that instead of work. You'd be surprised to know that he didn't last very long. But I was so impressed that he did not give a damn that there were people waiting in line for him to like work. He was just like, yo, I got this ocarina. What is it? It's 2:30. Every day at 2:30 I play ocarina in the flowers. So that is one.
Anyone else just flabbergasted by this eldritch being that just stumbled into your workplace? What the hell did I just hear?
That was actually a fae, bro.
It was. There's no. I don't get it. He would. And when I asked him, like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, did you need something?" Like, yeah, dude, damn job. I need you.
I'm busy.
Goddamn job.
Like, yo,
I'm busy. What the hell you want?
Yo, this register, it ain't gonna run itself. So you can skilly do on over there. Yeah, he didn't last very long.
Sorry, I don't mind my product placement behind me. I didn't realize it was on the screen.
But yeah, that is one of my multiple great experiences. Wonderful world of. What do you guys have? What kind of silliness had or bad stupid things happening?
I was under the impression.
Hold on, you're not you. I don't know where he is because I can't see where you are in relation to the video currently.
But two over. I'm two over. Yeah, there you go. So
just really far that way.
Yeah, really far. There you go.
You over there. You better not talk about me or working with me or being around me. Not a single word about working with me because I already know I'm stupid as hell. We don't need the rest of everybody else to know I'm stupid as hell.
No, I wasn't gonna. No, I wasn't. Dude, there's too many stories to tell if I was gonna talk about the dumb things you did at work. But I've had a lot of really, really bad jobs. A lot of really, really terrible jobs. Some of them were cool. When I was in college, I worked at the tan company. So I I worked at a tanning salon. That was fun. But then there were really bad jobs, like when I first got out of the military. Now, I'm appreciative of the fact that this church friend of my mother's was able to get me a summer job before I started school in the fall after getting out of the military. But the job itself was just not glamorous, to put it as politically correct as I could. It was maintenance for government housing, so we would remodel. Well, not really remodel, but we would fix issues. Like, we were maintenance people. Like, think of a maintenance person at like a apartment complex. That was us, but like for government housing, and it was just a terrible experience, like having to do some of the things or seeing the things that we had to see. We not like, wasn't like really, really bad, but it was gross things. Like we did this one house where people had lived there for a while, and it looked like someone had rubbed peanut butter on the wall, like just taking their fingers like this and read, and not like a handprint, but like where your fingers would match, like 4 lines, 5 lines across the living room, right? The wall. It was cockroach shit. So cockroaches follow the scent of poop left by other cockroaches to find where the food is. It went from the living room to the kitchen where all the food was. The cabinets were lined with dead cockroaches, like on the inside, like where the like the sides and the bottom meat, like just lined with cockroaches. They were everywhere, man, everywhere, live, dead. They bombed that place like 3 times. and they were still cockroaches. And yeah, man, having to go and clean stuff like that, those were really, really bad jobs.
I thought we were going to be like, haha, this funny coworker. Man, my manager was an asshole. And you were like, there was literally just lines of shit on the wall.
I'm sorry. The topic that I got told was shitty work stories.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, that's fair.
Damn it.
That's fair.
That's not what we were doing. That's not what we're
talking
talking about. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
Skandle was just listening to Shiny Story like, there's not much shit in this story.
Listen,
I was like,
maybe he didn't understand the
prompt. I realized that I was not prepared for this one because I thought Shiny was wrong with the story he told. But it was a funny job. I thought we were supposed to talk about bad jobs or shitty jobs.
Listen, when you walk out there and there's someone summoning Epona in your lawn and garden section, you don't know what to do and how to handle it. And not all the customers thought it was funny. Just the guy recording it.
Well, then they're wrong because that's amazing.
Do you think I even had words when I saw it? You could probably imagine the noise that came out of my body when I went,
That's the noise?
Could
you make it again a little louder?
I don't know if I could ever make the noise that I made when I saw that. There's confusion, anger, but there's a spark of hope. Hope.
But you hoped that the horse would actually show up? Like
I was hoping,
like you were just actually talking to Link?
I was like, maybe I'm dead. I'm hallucinating.
Maybe a pallet fell from up above, and I am in a coma right now.
This is a dream. So yeah.
Well, I apologize for misunderstanding.
No, I think that was a good. I think you had a good one because you cannot kill cockroaches.
No.
Of mortals. The toughest little bug you'll ever.
Dude, so if you can't kill if you can't kill a cockroach with like nuclear war, what the hell is in a bottle of Raid? Because that does kill them.
2 nuclear wars.
1,000 nuclear winners.
1,000 nuclear wars.
Yeah.
I thought your camera froze.
No, I wanted to see if I could get the reaction. So I guess it's my turn. 2 specifically come to mind. One of them, I wanted to avoid using names, and honestly, I don't know if we're still going to do that. Target, a very famous, competitor of floor store.
There's a special place in hell for people who call it that, by the way.
The Throne. I worked there. It was like my first job out of high school, like my first real job out of high school. And I worked in the pizza store within the main store. Like there's like when you go to check out, there's like sometimes there's food and like a Starbucks out like right by the door. Yeah, I worked at the pizza place there. And I'd only been there, I think I was there for like 3 or 4 months total. And in those 3 or 4 months, they trained me to be a cashier because, not everyone's going to go to the terrible fucking pizza store in the Target because it's gross. So they were like, whenever you're not busy, just jump on a register. And I was like, all right, cool. So I did that. And that was in my first month. So I'd just been trained to do the pizza stuff, just been trained to do that. So I started taking extra shifts because I was like, I just want money. And I showed up and they were like, oh, there's actually a scheduling error. You're not actually on the cashier. You're not a cashier today. You're actually supposed to be doing carts. And I said, I've never been trained to do that. And they were like, well, we'll give you like the quick train. Quick, yeah, you'll be fine. Just go get those carts. All right, cool. So I get that. They got like this little push machine that you just like stack up in the carts, you bring them out, push them back in the building and all that.
The one you have to drive?
Yeah, but you get like a little remote control. And I was just
back in my day.
Back in the olden days. So here I am fiddling with this thing. So that's within the 3 months, right? So month 4, right? I start just hating this job immediately. Like I just don't want to be there. Because I'm like, I am working tons of hours for very little pay. And my manager hates me. And I don't know why. So like anytime I would get scheduled to be on working at the pizza place, they would come check on me at the pizza place, because sometimes I would just hide in the back and not really be doing anything. And they would come back there and they were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, waiting for the dough to proof. And they're like, that takes like 40 minutes. And I'm like, that's why I'm waiting so long. And they're like, go get on a register. But I remember specifically, I will never forget this. You give the little clear cups for water, like every establishment ever. And we had an icy machine. And this white bitch came up to me and she was like, can I have 4 cups for my children and their friends? And I'm like, all right, sure. So I hand her 4 cups and I'm just watching her and she's watching me and she just goes over to the icy machine and she's staring me down. And I'm like I'm a teenager still. So I'm like, she can't do that.
Yeah.
She can do that?
Yeah, she's stronger than you.
Well, I called my manager and I was like, hey, there's just some lady pouring icing into the free cups. And they were like, is that it? Yeah. Well, who cares? And I'm like,
if you're listening to this, now you know the secret.
Yeah, you always ask for a water cup and then you fill it up with Sprite.
And icy.
Oh, it was terrible. It was a terrible work experience. Just having anytime a manager hates you, have you guys had managers that just hate you and you can't figure out why?
Yeah.
No, I'm very lovable.
I like it.
I still don't understand that. No, I want to touch on that a little bit because it's true.
But
you are so mean to everyone that people just think you're joking.
Yeah, I've mastered that art of sarcasm where people don't know if I'm joking or not. So if I just say something really mean and I'm like, then they think I'm joking whenever I say it, but I'm not.
No. And then we'll immediately, they'll be out of earshot and you'll be like, man, I fucking hate her. And I'm like, she should know. You made fun of her, you made fun of her face.
Yeah. You can. I've been told before by one of my buddies, he was the drummer in one of the bands I was in. He told me that I have a gift of being able to insult people without them knowing that I'm insulting them.
I'm very aware of whenever you insult me. What do you mean?
It takes a level of intelligence to understand it.
Does it?
Yeah. I didn't.
The other story. Oh, do you have something you want to talk about?
No, I was just saying I didn't hate you. That's why I didn't treat you that way.
Oh, fair enough. The other story, which is barely a story, it's more of a collection of stories, was when I worked at a gas station in South Carolina. And if you ever live near the beach anywhere, it's awful. It's great to visit. It's awful to live there because there's lots of people coming from around the country and sometimes around the world, and they don't know how things work. But we didn't have a public restroom, but we were 20 yards behind me was the main store. It was a grocery store and then a tiny gas kiosk with a couple of pumps, right? So no public restroom. So I would just tell people go in the Burger King next door or go back to the store. And this one dude was just like, now let's see here. I gotta take a shit. Where's your bathroom? I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't have a public restroom because I don't want to clean up your shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he's like, where the hell am I supposed to go? And I was like, well, sir, there's a Burger King right there. No, I'm not walking that far. And this is 15 feet away. And I'm like, sorry. And I'm like, look, sir, there's nothing I can do. I can't leave the kiosk. And he's like, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to just drop my drawers and shit on the fucking concrete? And I'm like,
yeah, actually, I'd love to see you do that.
And I was like, do it. Yeah. Also, I'll grab that video and I'll submit it to any internet show on TV that will take it. Tosh.0, does that still run? I would send that straight into him.
That's how you assert dominance. If you just poo right in front of, don't break eye contact.
So, go ahead, Sean. Are you done, or you still got more of the story?
I had one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Shiny's eldritch being of a coworker that showed up, I had this one dude. We're gonna name him Fred. So Fred was really bad at his job, and he worked basically he was the same level as me. We were just cashiers out in this fuel station. And Fred, I'm just going to give you a quick list of all the things that Fred did that I was just astounded that he was able to keep his job. So Fred gave away about $200 worth of lottery tickets. He forgot to charge the people.
Oops.
So to prevent loss prevention from stepping in, he took lunch, went to an ATM that was like 2 blocks down, pulled $200 from his account and just put it in the till. And I was like, there is a camera. How did nobody see you do this? Second thing was Fred, when you like close out for the night, you take your till, you make sure all the numbers are right and all that, and then you deposit all the money, right? So I'm holding this till and we're switching shifts between me and Fred. So Fred just gets there and he's standing in the back, and it's a tiny, like, it's like a sideways U-shaped kiosk, right? Like, here's the front, I'm walking to the back, and it's like a small walkway, and he's standing in front of me. I'm holding my till, and he's like, yeah, this is not paraphrase. This is exactly what he said. He said, I bet you couldn't stop me if I just kissed you right now. And I went, huh? What the fuck? I was like, I will beat you to death with this till if you touch me.
I had said that pulling your pants down and pooping someone is how you assert dominance. Actually, what Fred did was true assertion of dominance.
Fred, I feel fear for Fred to this day. I pray that I never see him again.
A person.
So I have one more story.
Okay.
That takes the subject of tonight's podcast literally again. When I was in the desert, I worked a rec tent, and it was where like everybody came and did things like just imagine Forrest Gump, right? Where they were playing ping pong, right? That's the rec tent. So it's a public bathroom for everybody. Well, in the Middle East, they don't use toilet paper. They use
bidets.
The French call it a bidet, right, or whatever it's called. Anyway, but the one that we had was the sprayer from like a kitchen sink, right? That's what they had. And so basically it was like the toilet, the water pipe came out, and then off the water pipe was a little spigot that this was connected to, and it was just like that. It had a little lever, you pushed it, sprayed water, and it sprayed water powerfully. It wasn't like a trickle, right? Like a little tiny waterfall or anything. It was like kitchen sink spraying, right? So by about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, you couldn't go in the bathroom because there was just shit sprayed all over the wall, because they don't use toilet paper, so they take their hand and they wipe and then they spray their hand off. So it was spraying shit. I don't know if that's like the typical way that they were doing it, but that's how the people who were using our bathroom were doing it.
Oh,
and
God.
So it sprayed their yeah. So we had it was not my job to clean the bathroom. I would not have done it. You could have given me an Article 15. I'm not cleaning that bathroom. But yeah, so that's another literal shitty job.
Yeah. Do you often deal with shit in your jobs, or
you guys think you got it bad, okay?
like you're still like an IT person, just one day you open up a computer, it's just full of shit.
Full of shit, bro. Why does this keep happening to me?
Every time. Yeah. So I think we have a new segment for you guys coming forward, and this week we're going to start out with games you should be checking out currently. And top of my list for games you should be checking out is Valheim. It is a great survival game where you are basically a Viking. You get sent to this island by Odin, and he says, yo, you need to get stronger. So he drops you in, you survive, you fight Norse gods and demigods. The game is blown up over the weekend and really has 2 million downloads of this game. So if you haven't checked it out already, it'd be a great game to get into. What do you got for social medias?
So I'm gonna just put up like this is this week's. So we're doing a bunch of new things, right? We're gonna do the game recommendation. We might have some music recommendations for you, and I'm gonna start showcasing like, hey, check out this sweet tweet that someone made. It was me. I made the tweet. It's really stupid, and I'm very proud of it. But are we finished up? Am I ready to do the shout outs?
Yeah.
Okay. So please check us out on Instagram and Twitter, both at Lore Out of for Out of Context. And I think we got NerdLore P for the main page for updates. We update every Friday around 7 p.m. Central Time. So make sure to check us out on Spotify, YouTube, Podbean. I'm totally drawing a blank now. I think we're getting on Player FM.
Everywhere.
Pandora, just everywhere. Anywhere you made your podcast.
Spotify.
That was the first one I said.
I said it again.
It's that important, apparently.
Yeah.
I gotta get good at those outros, but that's all I got for now.
So this has been Shiny Shoes.
It's my Crashstarling.
Skandle, baby. All day, every day.
See you guys next time.